Great, guys. So here we are today. I am with the developer of Vanderbilt. That is our latest property on Easy Properties. It's the current IPO. It's in Foreshore in Cape Town, so just down the road from me, actually. And it's got an internal rate of return of 10.7%, an estimated net rental yield of 10.18%. And this IPO is closing on the 31st of October. Now, it's already almost 20% funded. So people are loving it already, which is really cool to see and also understandable. But we're going to get into that when I chat today with Dani Machet, director at Yieldex Holdings, the developer of this property. Welcome, Dani, and thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks so much for the invite. Glad to be here.
Are you impressed with my pronunciation of your surname?
It's you're getting there. It was
okay.
Well, the first take, that was pretty good. I've heard a lot worse.
Okay, good. So, Dani, Vanderbilt is a conversion from offices to residential, right? How does that fit into kind of Cape Town CBD, where it's going, and what kind of benefits does a conversion have compared to like a new build?
So I think there's a few advantages. Some are, universal advantages, like the fact that obviously offices were built in all the best positions first, and converting them now to residential unlocks those positions for residential buyers. There's not that many open plots of land in Cape Town CBD. So to take a foreshore site with sea views and convert it from office to residential allows, sea view apartments for one side of this building to be sold to the market at very compelling prices. So I suppose that's the one advantage. You get great locations. The additional advantage, I suppose, is these buildings get converted much quicker. So for an Easy Properties investor, from date of IPO to delivery, when these properties can actually start yielding and returning money to the investors, that's a far quicker process. So for instance, a building like next door to this, the Rockefeller, from start to finish would probably take kind of 2.5 to 3 years. A conversion like this is from start to finish would be 9 months or 10 months. And, so it just means that the speed to market is much quicker. The investor's money doesn't, sit in attorney's trust accounts for 2 years longer while the buildings are being built. It's just a far quicker process and allows them to, the investments to start yielding much quicker.
Give me that rent. Give me that rental income. That's what I'm talking about. That sounds good.
Exactly.
I've only been in Cape Town maybe 6 or 7 years, but already there's been so much growth in the Foreshore area and kind of like a rapid evolution. I love Foreshore. It's giving me like Silicon Valley and Cape Town vibes, like lots of like professional startups. There's just an energy there. You've got your Woolies, you've got your Dis-Chem, you've got your coffee shops, like it's such a vibe. I used to work there actually, so it's my old stomping ground. But talk to me about unique demand drivers that would have convinced you that short-term stay residential units were the right product for this location. And how does that compare with your learnings from the Rockefeller, which is just across the road, and the One in Stellies?
So Foreshore has been a massive success story for us historically. So we have live data from obviously developing Rockefeller, previously. We know how busy the market is here for short-term letting. Also very buoyant for long-term. We're seeing, annual increases way above inflation in the like rates that we're able to achieve, which has in turn provided, large yields and large increases in yields to investors in Rockefeller historically, of which, Easy Properties investors were there in the beginning, and are still invested. And we foresee exactly the same thing happening here. Beauty of this building is it's Airbnb friendly, which allows, opens up that whole Airbnb short-term letting market, which again, Cape Town is just synonymous for so much Airbnb demand. I think it's one of the most buoyant Airbnb markets in the world. And this building is obviously designed specifically sized units to tick the box that Airbnb consumer wants. So yeah, from that point of view, we think it's absolutely perfectly positioned, perfectly priced to create, the right kind of returns for investors, but also we foresee massive demand throughout the seasons for short-term letting in this building, and it's not, a guess on a spreadsheet. We've got a live example right next door.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, Foreshore is a vibe, and when you speak about seasonality, it's also like the kind of area that isn't just going to attract like holiday goers. I think it'll
Absolutely.
be
No.
attractive for business travelers, all sorts of different. So there's diversification there as well, which is great.
As a traveler to Cape Town weekly myself, Foreshore as a location is just so amazing from a traffic point of view. Also, for business travelers, you like kind of skip all that additional traffic getting into Greenpoint, Sea Point, etc. But you're still close enough to the
Yeah.
action that it just works so well as a place to stay. Hence, it's been so much development in the area, but it's not you're not stuck in that extra half an hour of traffic just to get a little bit, closer
I'll
to Sea
take
Point kind of thing.
I'll take a half an hour traffic saver any day. Now
Absolutely.
you mentioned price point, and as someone who was hunting in the CBD in the City Bowl for an apartment not so long ago, I know all about price points. Cape Town is expensive when it comes to property, but this property is standout, really affordable. How are you bringing this develop onto the market at such a lower price per meter square than many of the other developments in Cape Town? And what are the benefits for investors?
So I think it's the coming together of kind of three things that makes this possible. One, the actual building was bought, pre the Cape Town boom, and it was the three developments have been built on this. So this is kind of the existing building where two other developments were built, and so historically the developer has a low entry point for the existing base building structure that we're converting. That's the one thing. Secondly, we have a very, very experienced team around this table who've value engineered this and cleverly designed it. The footprint of the actual existing building lended itself very much to efficient units that were converted quite easily. So, the coming together of one, an historically well-priced building, a team who really understands conversion, has done countless of them around the country, and then, you know, Easy Properties getting access to the launch price, the lowest price on really, really good units, the ones that will yield very well from day one. Kind of the smaller units are always the better investor units because in the short-term letting market, people are less sensitive to size. And so you've got first pick of the units coupled with historically well-bought base building and a team who just knows how to do this at the right price. And all of those coming together is, providing this opportunity for these units at amazing prices. And we have no doubt that the investors here will see, really inflation-beating returns over time.
Yeah, because we've seen Cape Town properties have been outperforming the rest of South Africa. Like you say 1.5 million, and I'm like, I have not seen that on Property 24 for Cape Town, like ever, I don't think. What's your outlook for the city's property market in the coming years?
So I think as much as you've seen a divergence between like valuations of Cape Town property compared to many of the other cities in South Africa, and it has on a relative basis gotten more expensive. I think Cape Town as an absolutely like world-class destination with ever-growing base of kind of travelers as well as additional people moving to the area is still cheap in world terms. And when you think that, in dollar terms, these apartments are, $100,000, you can go to any world-class city, anything that looks, similar to Cape Town, and you simply wouldn't get anything for anywhere near this kind of value. So our
Yeah.
view is that Cape Town still has a long way to run, and it's still a good place to be investing, and people will see, returns even from these already higher levels than we saw historically. They will see that over the coming, decade or so. There's still room to go. This is not expensive in world terms.
Well, I'm invested in the Rockefeller, the One, and will be in this property too. So that's very good news to my ears. That sounds
We
amazing.
take responsibility for all three of those, and I mean, our track record, I think, with Easy Properties Investors has been good. Those three properties have done exactly what was promised on the box day one, and we continue to do that, and we want to deliver. Our reputations are everything, and we want to make sure what we promise we deliver, and we'll do it, yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Dani. It was great chatting
Awesome.
to you. And guys, go check out Vanderbilt. It's on the platform until the 31st of August. You can invest and participate in the IPO with any amount you've got. And those are pretty impressive stats in terms of forecasted returns and net rental income. So go and check it out. And yeah, thanks so much, Dani. Great hanging out.
Great. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.